What's up, everybody? It's Zach, the Celtics guy here. I'm back with another video, and once again reporting from my car, but this time I'm on my way to work, and I wanted to take the time to discuss this one thing that I found in the news just recently concerning one of the Democratic candidates for president last year, who this time around made a complete and utter fucking ass of himself as of late. He by the name of Andrew Yang. Now, Andrew Yang, of course, was one of the Democratic candidates running last year. And how did he make an ass of himself? Well, he took up a very biased opinion on the Israel-Palestine conflict, which isn't necessarily surprising in some ways, but see, the thing that irritated me the most about this is because I suspected Andrew Yang to be a little bit less biased, or at least not as biased as other politicians. And I thought that he would be a little bit more on the progressive side and not like a fucking neoliberal or whatever. So, as the violence between Israel and Palestine lives on, it is clear on what side the U.S. is going to take. Of course, we're going to side with Israel no matter what Israel does, because we're always fucking kissing Israel's ass. That goes for the Democrats. That also goes for the Republicans. So, on this, Andrew Yang is literally no different than the rest of them when it comes to this issue. As Israel was targeting innocent civilians, including Palestinian men and women who were doing literally nothing wrong other than praying in a fucking religious institution, Israeli troops go inside and fucking storm the building. Literally storm the fucking building. Because the violence between the Israelis and Palestinians has been living on for fucking decades, obviously. So Andrew Yang, as a result of Israel butchering Palestinian men, women, and children like they have time and time again, what do they do this time around? Well, here's what they do. Well, here's what Andrew Yang says about that. Andrew Yang says that we side with Israel. That we side with the people of Israel. And that there is nobody in New York City that doesn't stand with Israel. Okay. You yourself may be from New York City, but how the fuck do you know what how every person from New York City thinks? Andrew Yang, I got news for you. A lot of people in this country are turning against Israel. Okay? Our fucking biased media, our fucking Zionist-dominated media, okay, might be coming out saying, oh, well, the American people back Israel unconditionally, might be saying all that stupid bullshit and everything like that. But, so when Israel slaughters Palestinian men, women, and children, you say we side with Israel. That we side with the people of Israel during this time. How about you side with the Palestinian men, women, and children getting slaughtered by the Israeli army? How about that? You say nothing about that, motherfucker. You aren't saying a goddamn thing about that. And this is very disappointing, because Andrew Yang seemed like one of the few Democratic candidates that actually didn't have a screw loose. He seemed like one of the few good ones. Now, I'm center-left, and I typically lean a little bit more leftward, but I obviously don't side with either party. I'm just independent. I'm basically a left-leaning independent. But on this issue, no. I mean, I don't side with either or when it comes to the Israel-Palestine conflict, but I think that Israel starts a lot of the shit that goes on. Now, a lot of people say, oh, Palestinians are firing rockets into Israel. Yeah, and that's fucked up. Okay? Yeah, that's fucked up. We can all agree right then and there that, yeah, that's fucked up. Okay, no one is saying that, oh, it's right for them to do that. Like, no, nobody's fucking saying that. Like, nobody is saying that. But of course, the fucking neocons and the neolibs are going to twist that around. And they're going to yell anti-Semitism with regards to any criticism of Israel. That's what they're going to do, just like they have time and time again. So Andrew Yang has proven that he is no different than the rest of the neocons and the neolibs that are fucking kissing Israel's ass. So, Andrew Yang, I have a question for you. Are you a candidate for America, or are you a fucking Mossad agent, or are you a member of the Netanyahu regime? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. So what are you? And then you're saying, oh, I believe in a two-state solution. Yeah, I think everyone with a fucking brain in their head believes in a two-state solution. Now, look, all of our politicians are going to say, in theory, that they believe in a two-state solution. It's easy to say, I'm for a two-state solution. Like, it's one of the easiest things to say. Like, it's one of the easiest things to say. You could literally take a fucking marker and mark it on your face saying, put it on your fucking cheeks, saying, I support a two-state solution. It's like the easiest thing in the world. So why all of a sudden is this a big, like, oh, I support a two-state solution? Why all of a sudden is this like a big thing? Like, oh, I support a two-state solution. Yeah, anybody can say that. You want a fucking cookie for it? You want the Nobel Peace Prize? You want the Nobel Peace Prize for it? You fucking joke. Okay? It's easy to say it. But can it be done, is the thing. Here's my thing. No, there will not be a two-state solution so long as there's this tension between Israelis and Palestinians, but that's being escalated by the Netanyahu regime, because the Netanyahu regime is a far-right neocon regime in Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is the George W. Bush of Israel. He is a warmonger. He is a fucking war criminal. He is a fucking warmonger. He's taking up the same warmongering tactics that Bush took up in this country, that Trump to some extent took up in this country, that a lot of American leaders have taken up in this country. So, it's like Andrew Yang got index cards being jotted down by the Republicans and jotted down by the Netanyahu regime. It's a fucking joke. So no, Andrew Yang, you are not a progressive. So if you're trying to come out there acting like you're this big progressive or whatever, no, you're not. You may be a progressive on other things, but you are not a progressive on this issue. You are not a progressive on this issue. Get the fuck out of here. So no, I had a lot of respect for Andrew Yang, but I've lost a great deal of respect for him. I have lost a great deal of respect for Andrew Yang over this issue. And it's not because of how he feels about, and it's not just because of, oh, how he feels about a political issue. It's because he is so biased. Because he's taking up the same neocon, neoliberal approach on the Israel-Palestine conflict. And you know what that position is? We're going to kiss Israel's ass no matter what Israel does. We are literally Israel's bitch. Because that's what our government has become over the years. We are Israel's fucking bitch. Well, here's the thing. You motherfuckers don't speak for me. Okay? If Charlie Baker, the governor of Massachusetts, was saying Massachusetts stands with Israel, I would say, hey, go fuck yourself. No, I don't. Like, no, I don't. And I don't know what Charlie Baker, the governor of this state, Massachusetts, I don't know what he thinks on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He doesn't really talk about, he obviously doesn't talk about foreign policy all that much, which is a good thing to some extent. But besides the point, I mean, if, say, hypothetically he said that, or the mayor of Boston said that, or whoever, said anything, you know, I'd be saying like shut the fuck up. You do not represent us, okay? And you don't represent America in general or Americans' position on Israel overall. Because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Because you're not going to get a two-state solution doing this. Because you're just proving that you're just a Zionist hack. You're proving that you're a fucking Zionist hack. And you know what? I can hear Ben Shapiro. I can hear Dave Rubin. I can hear Larry Elder. I can hear all these fucking neocons on the right that constantly fucking kiss Israel's ass. I can even hear some liberals like Bill Maher that fucking kiss Israel's ass. I can hear all these people stomping their feet over it. It's a joke. I can hear them. I can hear them stomping their feet, screaming anti-Semitism coming from Zach the Celtics guy, because that's what they do. Now, see, the funny thing is, a lot of right-wingers and neocons will scream anti-Semitism, but they'll bitch about identity politics on the left. Now, I'm against identity politics. I'm against PC, you know, bullshit and SJW fucktardism. Okay, I'm against all that. So no, I'm with the right on that. But the right is hypocritical when it comes to the issue of Israel. You know why? Because they throw around the word anti-Semitism. The way they throw around the word anti-Semitism is no different than how the left throws around the word racist all the time. It's no different. It's really no different. So no, if you want to take an unbiased approach to everything, you wouldn't be saying that shit. So no, Andrew Yang, I've lost a great deal of respect for him. And I thought he was one of the few sensible Democrats that were running last year. But I guess not. I guess we were fooled once more. Fooled once more by another fucking Zionist hack that is clearly a Mossad agent disguised as a Democrat/progressive. No, that doesn't mean like Andrew Yang, you know, loses all of his touch. I'm just saying I've lost respect for him on this issue. I've lost respect for him in general because he's so fucking biased on this issue. Now, if he just said something like about that and I just said, yeah, I don't really necessarily agree with that, I would just be like, okay, fine, I guess, but I don't agree with them on this. I don't agree with them on this. But if your point is so fucking stupid like this, then yeah, I'm going to lose a great deal of respect for you. So if anyone in the comments wants to go out and scream anti-Semitism, go right ahead and do it. Because that theory, that quote-unquote term anti-Semitism has been rebutted so many times over, I don't even care to count. I can't even count how many times that has been rebutted. Because it's so ridiculous. It is such a ridiculous talking point. Andrew Yang saying we side with Israel. No, we don't. No, we don't. And if you're saying that we are, we actually really probably don't. Okay? You're taking up the same fucking Zionist talking point that Fox News is taking up and the Republicans and the neocons are taking up. So yeah, how much is the Israeli Mossad paying you, Andrew Yang? How much is the Israeli Mossad paying you? I'd love to know. How much are they paying you? How much are they paying you to make these ridiculous statements? And when Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk, who I agree with, you know, most of the time, when he covered this the other day, and I was in the live chat with multiple Secular Talk fans, there were so many people flooding the comments. It's like fucking Zionist bots flooding the comments, screaming anti-Semitism and calling Kyle Kalinske anti-Semitic, calling Secular Talk fans, including me, anti-Semitic. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what anti-Semitism is. You wouldn't know the term anti-Semitism from the fucking hole in your ass. Okay? So no, Andrew Yang is a joke. He's a fucking joke. He's really just a joke. He's a joke. The Democrats are jokes. The Republicans are jokes. Fucking the supporters of Israel are fucking jokes. The Netanyahu regime is a joke. They're all jokes. You know, I feel bad for people in Israel. I really do. I feel bad for Israelis in general. Especially their Arab communities that are treated like fucking dog shit because Israel is literally an apartheid state. So, yeah. So the U.S. will just continue to kiss Israel's ass. And as long as the U.S. continues to kiss Israel's ass, it's just going to make the situation worse. But somehow Iran is the bad guy. Yet somehow Iran is the bad guy when Iran has never invaded anybody. Now, I don't like the theocracy in Iran either. But here's the thing now. Iran has never invaded anybody. Iran, for the most part, they mind their own fucking business. Okay? As bad as their regime and their human rights record is on different things, okay, at least Iran minds their own fucking business. And by the way, when Trump assassinated that Iranian general last year, you know that Iranian general was fighting against ISIS? So yeah. And you can't tell me for 1 second that the Netanyahu regime told the U.S. to go and assassinate that Iranian general because Israel has such a fucking boner, has such a fucking hate boner for Iran. Now, I think sometimes when Iran says, you know, when Iran and Israel are fighting with each other, I think Israel provokes Iran, just like I think Israel provokes the Palestinian conflict. So yeah, it is fucked up when Iran threatens Israel. It's fucked up when Palestine shoots rockets into Israel. But who really starts all of that? Who really starts all of that? Oh, gee, I don't know. Israel occupying Palestinian land for decades with the blessings of the U.S. and a great deal of the Western world. Yeah, so much for that fucking Arab-Israeli peace deal with Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. So much for that, right? Or in Morocco and Sudan. Yeah, that was a fucking joke. And then Trump, of course, decided to take credit for it. It's just like, yeah, fucking Trump loves to take credit because it's the greatest thing ever. And by the way, Trump was one of the biggest fucking Zionists there was in the fucking Oval Office. Let's cut to the chase here. So, yeah, that whole fucking deal with Israel was a big joke. That thing was a big joke. Okay? Yeah, I support peace between Israel and their Arab neighbors, of course, or anybody. But here's the thing. It really proved to be a joke. And the reason it proved to be a joke is because it did nothing to resolve the Palestinian conflict. Because it's like, oh yeah, look at Bahrain and the UAE kissing Israel's ass now. Simply because they're against Iran. Or whatever. But how does that help the Palestinians? How does that help the Israel-Palestine conflict? Oh yeah, that's right, it doesn't. That's right, it doesn't, because it's a fucking joke. And then, of course, fucking Trump he took credit for it. He wanted to take credit for it just like he wanted to take credit for everything. But whatever. It's a fucking joke. So no, Andrew Yang is a joke. He's especially a joke on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He's a fucking joke. Okay? Really? And look, I hate to be this person, but I'm just going to say this. This might be an unpopular opinion, but really the only person that was unbiased with Israel and Palestine was Bernie Sanders. Okay? So anybody out there that doesn't like Bernie Sanders, yeah, I'm kind of half and half with Bernie Sanders. But here's the thing. Bernie Sanders was probably the most unbiased on the issue of Israel-Palestine. Now, they would call him a fucking anti-Semite, despite the fact that Bernie Sanders is part Jewish, yet they still call him an anti-Semite. You know, they call, so see, you know, that they call Jewish people that are against Israel, like we're against Israel, doing all this shit. And yeah, we're against this. What do people on the right do? They come out and they scream and bitch and holler that they're like self-hating Jews and all that. It's like, give me a fucking break. Like, yeah, like we don't, like, Israel is screwing up in the name of Judaism, Judaism. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry if I butchered that term, but whatever. But no, it's really just a joke. It's really just a joke. It's really it's sad. It's really sad, and it's pathetic. You know, I'm a little shocked. Normally, in a lot of cases, I'd be like, I'm surprised by what he said and whatever. I'm not surprised by what he said. But actually, I am surprised. Because I thought that Andrew Yang was better than this. I really did. I really thought he did. I really thought that he was better on this issue. But I guess not. I guess not. I guess he's just proven to be another fucking Zionist hack. He's proven to be another Zionist hack. Just like the rest of them. So yeah, no. This is why I support the BDS movement: boycott, divestment, and sanctions. And there are many laws targeting the BDS movement in a complete violation of the First Amendment, saying that you can't boycott Israel, or you can't pressure them into doing it. You know, like fucking neocons, fucking neocons and neoliberals targeting free speech with regards to the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. No. The BDS movement is not anti-Semitic. The BDS movement believes in saying that Israel is doing the wrong thing, and we're not going to deal with them, we're not going to do business with them until they change their policies. That's a little hypocritical coming from the Republicans, considering that they have been embargoing Cuba for 60 fucking years and saying, oh, the Cuba embargo, until they improve their human rights record, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah? Do you see any liberals out there targeting you about the Cuba embargo, saying that if you boycott Cuba, we're going to punish you for it? It'd be like the same thing. So yes, our democracy is once again stinking of hypocrisy. Because American democracy stinks of hypocrisy. American politicians stink of fucking hypocrisy. And I'm tired of being represented by morons like you. Okay, so fuck all of you. Fuck every single one of you. Democrats and Republicans. Neocons, neoliberals. Okay? If you're a Democrat, you're basically a neoliberal in Washington. If you're a Republican, for the most part, you're usually a fucking neocon. Let's cut to the chase here. Let's cut to the chase on this issue. So no, the overall thing on this issue is no. I support BDS. I support the BDS movement. The BDS movement is not anti-Semitic. The BDS movement is not anti-Semitic. And if you actually gave a fuck and actually looked it up and listened to what people in the movement were saying, you would know that they're not. But of course, the people who say that they are don't, because they've never done their fucking research. They probably have never done research once in their life on anything, and probably only get their information from fucking Fox News and CNN and all that other fucking garbage. Fucking mainstream media garbage. So no, it's a joke. So no, Andrew Yang is a hack. Andrew Yang is a hack. Andrew Yang is a Zionist hack. Andrew Yang is proven that he is no different than the rest of them. He has literally proven himself to just be what he's proven to be, what so many of our politicians have become and have been for such a long time. So no, Andrew Yang, I've lost a lot of respect for you. And I'm sure many other people in my camp, the anti-war and anti-imperialist camp on the, left or center left, me being the latter. Yeah, we've lost a lot of respect for you, because you're just, it's pathetic. I have no other words. But anyway, thank you all for listening. I'm close to work now, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will be back with more videos and more content in the works. Stay tuned to find out more videos on the way. And yeah, so yeah, this is ridiculous. This is really just a joke. So anyway, peace, have a nice day or night, and I will be back with more soon. And let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, if you're on either side, I'm not going to judge you for it, as long as you're respectful with me about it. As long as you're respectful with me about it, I'm not gonna judge you. But when it comes to this issue, Andrew Yang is so biased. His biases are showing. So it's a shame, and I've lost a lot of respect for him. So whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and I will be back with more videos soon. Zach the Celtics guy signing off, and we'll be back with more soon. Peace, have a nice day or night, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.